What if the biggest threat to NVIDIA wasn't a rival chip company, but the world's largest cloud giants creating their own silicon? That's exactly what's happening. Google is now pitching its TPUs to other hyperscalers, and Meta is in talks for a multi-billion-dollar chip order. This news immediately triggered a 6% drop in NVIDIA stock after hours. Welcome back to Shorting NVIDIA Deep Dive, Episode 2. I'm Alex, your channel for clear, forward-looking deep dives into US stocks and tech analysis. If you watched our first episode on depreciation, you know the financial red flags hidden behind NVIDIA's perfect profits. Today, we're dissecting the CapEx bubble, the custom chip revolt, and how they threaten NVIDIA's future growth. Hit subscribe and let's dive deep. Let's start with the big picture. Hyperscalers, Meta, Alphabet, Microsoft, they're all spending tens of billions annually on AI capital expenditures. Meta alone, according to its latest guidance, is projecting a staggering 11.4 to 11.9 billion in CapEx for 2025, mostly focused on AI infrastructure. And where does the bulk of that money go? One place, NVIDIA, to buy those expensive H100s. This is what we call the NVIDIA Tax. NVIDIA uses its CUDA ecosystem monopoly to command gross margins around 70%. The more CapEx the cloud giants spend, the richer NVIDIA gets. But here's the risk: overbuilding and oversupply. When growth stops or even slows, those massive assets become a burden. For NVIDIA, this is critical because their valuation is built on the premise of relentlessly rising AI CapEx. If CapEx growth decelerates, or if hyperscalers switch to custom designs, NVIDIA's growth story runs out of fuel. On the flip side, dependence on a single vendor makes these tech giants expensive and puts them at a major supply chain disadvantage. So we're witnessing a real revolution. Cloud giants are no longer just buying chips, they're making them. The hyperscaler strategy is unifying around self-reliance. Google's TPU is leading the charge. They went from internal-only usage to now selling TPUs to other customer data centers, directly competing with NVIDIA. They've signed up big clients like Anthropic for up to 1 million chips, and now Meta is considering buying custom silicon from Google. Don't forget the rest of the field. Amazon is rapidly deploying its Trainium and Inferentia chips, and Meta is accelerating its own silicon journey, testing its training chip and acquiring RISC-V startup Rivos. The goal of these custom chips is straightforward: achieve H100 level performance at a fraction of the cost, replacing general AI CapEx spending. NVIDIA's moat isn't just technology, it's being the default infrastructure provider. Custom silicon shatters that default. This doesn't mean NVIDIA collapses tomorrow, but over the long term, rising custom chip performance means clients rely less on general GPUs, directly diluting NVIDIA's market share and squeezing their margins. Analysts estimate that Google's TPU expansion alone could eat up around 10% of NVIDIA's annual AI revenue. That is not a small change. So when you see NVIDIA's CapEx revenue hitting new highs, remember that behind that number, the cloud giants are actively seeking the cure. As an investor, what should you be watching? Number 1, cloud giants announcing large-scale adoption of non-NVIDIA chips in production. Number 2, big orders or partnerships for chips like Google TPU or Meta MTIA. Number 3, AI CapEx growth slowing or shifting from new build-out to efficiency upgrades. Number 4, NVIDIA's guidance showing CapEx dependency dropping or increased GPU discounts. If one or more of these signals materializes in the next 12 to 24 months, you're looking at a structural shift, not a temporary hiccup. If this logic resonates with you, and you believe we might be standing at the CapEx inflection point, then you need more than just noise. You need to know where the chips are being made, who's buying them, and why it matters. And in the end, write down your thoughts on this episode in the comments. If you appreciate this kind of hard-hitting, data-driven analysis, please smash the subscribe button and ring that notification bell. In episode 3, we'll dissect the $6 trillion circular financing charge and dive into the risks behind asset identification and revenue recognition. I'm Alex. I'll see you next time.